Hola! Just got a splash of rain outside. Happens once in a while. But it's been happening a lot this month of May 2013. It's a different kind of rain that's been falling on my soul. It's the rain of knowledge. So much of this stuff that I talk about, I didn't even think about any of this not too long ago. The way I look at the world now is so different. I was tired of ignoring all the psychic images because it just felt crazy. Past life stuff. Seeing the future, outright seeing the future. Like I know when the earthquake's going to hit San Francisco. Earthquake's going to hit San Francisco. Hard. That city's going to be destroyed. Destroyed. I'm embarrassed that I focus so much on Alex Jones because he's so asinine. It's so asinine that people. It's just such a glaring example of how sheep follow the shepherd. One of my friends, he ticks me off a little bit, but he does a good job. He always beats me to stuff. I beat him to a couple of things, but he basically went through videos of Alex Jones, ranting and screaming, and he went through videos of Bill Hicks ranting and screaming. And he got these really glorious open-mouth shots of his teeth. Same man. It just, when you get down to it, when it comes down to people putting on a hoax with their identity, it comes down to the teeth. It's amazing they didn't do anything with his teeth. Whoever did this, aliens or the government, whoever morphed him into Alex Jones, however they did it, you would have thought they would have messed his teeth, grind him down a little bit, something, give him some braces in that 1995 interim where he was getting used to being the new person and close the gap on the top. But his bottom teeth are exactly the same. It's the same person. Both names are probably phony. You're dealing with a really talented person who is playing ball for a team that might not be named yet. I mean, the people that love Bill Hicks, that yell at me or anybody else that points this stuff out, they've got a really good point. Because Bill Hicks had the humor. He had this, he was just that, he was awesome. And Alex Jones doesn't do that. But you don't take into consideration that's called character acting. I mean, you name the actor, Brad Pitt, your favorite person. They're different in this movie or that movie, and they don't talk the same, they don't act the same, because there's a character outline being adhered to. The Alex Jones thing has gone on a kind of long time. And in a way it's more effective. I didn't want to believe this thing about Bill Hicks. I jumped into this because I am a portrait artist. I set up booths and I draw people for money, and I'm really good at it. And I was just watching Bill Hicks. I'm a Bill Hicks fan. I like comedy, I was just watching one of those concerts, and he just moved into a shadow and looked left, and I saw Alex Jones. I was like, no way. Wait a minute. And I just had this, internal revelation. I was like, that's him. It's the same person. And I thought, no, that can't be. And so I jumped online, just said Alex Jones, Bill Hicks, it's like in my nuts. Because I thought of this on my own. And there were a few other people that had videos, so I didn't think of it first. But I thought of it as it was an original thought. I mean, I didn't. Nobody told me this theory. I just had this holy shit moment, you know, and I was like, no way. And then all this stuff, because when Bill Hicks died, he just died suddenly, just disappeared. No funeral. Now, a guy like Bill Hicks, he was loved. I mean, we're talking, he was a god in the comedy community. You would have thought that the pallbearers at his funeral would have been George Carlin, you know, just you name it. And there was nothing. And his mother, she said, well, he's buried in our backyard. So there's not even a public grave that you can go to exhume. We're told that he had pancreatic cancer. Well, I know a thing or two about that because my father had pancreatic condition. It's not going to kill you that fast. You know, he gave the announcement that he had this. Yeah, it'll kill you. It just... It's wrong. It's all wrong. And you look at Alex Jones, and when he first appeared on the scene in 1996, he just looked like this fresh-faced young guy. And people are always telling me, well, their voices are completely different. Yeah, well, Alex Jones' voice is completely different now compared to what it was in 1996. And he claims it's because of all his bullhorning and all his yelling. No, that's just working up the character more. And all of these things, like, even if you're not talking about this, if you're talking about, say, like, just some conspiracy notion, like 9/11, what really drops people dead in their tracks is, it's like, oh, the work it would take to put on an act like that. All the people that would have to be bribed. There's no possible way that the 9/11 conspiracy theories are true because there have been so many people that would have been in on it and saw, well... What I believe is that these things are done in layers to where the truth is covered up basically by a tangential consideration. It's like, okay, if a person thinks this, we got to get them off the road this way. If a person thinks that, we got to take them off the road that way. Like the moon, you know. The idea that those astronauts went to their graves and they didn't tell anybody. You would have thought Neil Armstrong on his deathbed would have said, turn on the camera. I'm going to confess. Neil Armstrong did not go to the moon. He went into orbit, and he put on the whole thing with the hoax. But the moon's a big deal, a big deal. I mean, the truth of the moon is just so. It might be so alarming that it might be essential. Like who knows what human beings were like before the moon arrived? I mean, you're damn right that that moon was placed there to mess with us and make us inferior beings. And it worked. It emits pulsations and keeps our minds in... It's on that 12 cycle. That's what it does. It affects our ability to see things with visual light. It changed our station. It made... Everything's in a series of 12 with the moon. And it revolves into 13. The number 13, instinctually, people always thought that was a bad luck number because that's how it works. It goes ching, pong, ching. You know, at New Year's when the ball drops in Times Square and you look up and you see 12:00. You're not looking at 12, you're looking at 13. It's the 13th position. All these reminders. You know, there's the major and minor. The major's bright, the minor's dark, in music. And it's always on a cycle of 13, with 24. Every time zone on the planet is the exact width of the moon, the way it projects onto the planet at that particular time. And we recognize things on cycles of 13 with our cognition. And if the moon wasn't there doing that, who knows what we would be like? I don't know what a person would see as far as visual light is concerned, because the color wheel with colors, it sits right on the circle of fifths. Okay, I'm going all over the place. Alex Jones, I just think if people woke up about this and really nailed him, I mean, really called him out. I mean, a guy like this is proactively putting on an act so bad. Like, he is glued in on everybody that cares. The good people. The people that want to fight the powers. And the powers hire him. If he was really... What gives him away is that if he was really calling out the Bilderbergs and all these... They'd kill him. Or they'd shut him down. The government could shut down anybody. So the idea that he has his little operation going on with the InfoWars and it's still running and there's no threat to it, it's just proof, just total proof, that he is just interference running, gatekeeping son of a bitch. And, God, people just give him money. He doesn't tell you anything about what to do. He tells you who to avoid and who to be afraid of, and that's the idea, to make you afraid, and it works. Man. But the idea that he went from Bill Hicks to Alex Jones is just amazing. You look at the teeth, bottom teeth, close-up shot of the bottom teeth of Bill Hicks and Alex Jones. It's exact match. That does not happen. It's the same person. The way his hair curls over, he dyes it. He maintains this facade, this heavy-set guy. You know, in the periods when Bill Hicks was kind of heavy, you can see he looks like Alex Jones with black hair. And his producer's Kevin Booth, you know, supposedly the high school buddy of Bill Hicks. It's just like these coincidences don't happen. They operate out of the same town, Austin, Texas. And if you call the high school or the college Alex Jones says he went to, they hang up on you. Go get a yearbook from the high school that he claims he went to and that he was on the football team. He's not in there. He's not in there. And there's no record of him, you know, he gives Barack Obama crap about his college records. Well, what about Alex Jones and his college records? Are just crap. Austin Community College, never heard of him. Because he's just not real. He's not a real person. And then he tries to tell us he's born in 1974. That even right now, sitting here in 2013, we're supposed to believe that this man, this totally past 50 son of a bitch that we're listening to, is 39 years old. No. We're looking at a man who was born about the same time as Barack Obama. Who dyes his hair. You just look at him. Look at his eyes. I mean, he's trying to tell everybody he's, you know, younger than me. He's not. That's Bill Hicks. Maybe Bill Hicks wasn't even Bill Hicks. Maybe who knows who this person is. And this is all just a big goddamned hoax. And the teeth really do it. And my friend Caliber Hitter, the people that really point this stuff out, they get their channels shut down and stuff. My buddy Sherry and Caliber Hitter, and they're really drilling it. And they don't want people to know this stuff. Because it's proof. And it's proof that something really weird's going on. How can you... Because that's not just plastic surgery on Alex Jones. That is cellularly morphing somebody into just a slightly different reality. That's not Botox. It's not silicone. It's not what it is. I mean, I hate talking about aliens and shit, but I really hate that because I believe in it. I believe in the Greys and the different species that they say, but I just don't. It messes with me because I just don't understand why these higher intelligences would side with the bastards instead of us. You would think that they would side with us, take the guns away from the bastards, and we'd have an awesome world. That's why I can't get too deep into the UFOlogy and stuff. I just like, why would they share technology with the criminals? Why? Can't they see the beauty that our potential could be if we weren't enslaved and totally set in fear? So I don't know. I mean, but I believe it. And I believe, like 9/11, that was all done by really, really advanced technology. That was done with sonic technology, where the building was taken apart by sound waves to give the illusion that it was either a collapse or a controlled demolition, when in reality all the materials in the building were being deconstructed, just like the Star Trek transporter beam. And now we've got these people like Alex Jones that change identities. What does that mean? Is he even a human being? He might just be, in a really awesome costume. Jeez. The teeth are exactly the same. Upper teeth, bottom teeth. Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. And I know that sounds stupid. And I know Bill Hicks fans hate that because they think Alex Jones is a joke and they love Bill Hicks. But it's just changing into character. That is the same human being. And you know what? He's giving us a gift. When it's that gloriously spread out like that, we could call him out. We could call out the government. We could destroy taxes. We could destroy the income tax. We could pull down the Federal Reserve if we bound together and point out these gatekeepers and all these things that are just so blatant and reconstitute the country and get the criminals out of office and get the gatekeepers away from the gate.